and I'm going to try to explain them as they go. So hang on to your butts. As we roll into 1-1, right off the bat, we're going to get rid of Donkey Kong. He's very slow. So we're going to swap him intentionally here. And we're going to do what's called a double extendo, or what we call a double extendo. And that's basically tapping Y and rolling through an enemy so you can store your roll, and then rolling through another enemy and pressing Y again so that you can pretty much store 2 rolls and get a really long extended roll. And looks like they might have both nailed it. We're seeing a little bit of desync here. I think they'll get synced up soon. Coming into Reptile Rumble, not Reptile Rumble, Ropey Rampage, we're going to see what are the instances of a bonus warp on the players here. We'll see another one in World 5 in Animal Antics. It's only 2 of them are in the run. Not really much going on in this stage. Just rolling and jumping between ropes and things. It's the next level where things really start to get crazy. We got Reptile Rumble. First things first, we gotta roll through these snake here. Nay seems to have some problems with it, but Lumo rolls through it just fine. We're going to see some camera manipulation on both sides of the screen here. Doing a quick little left-right wiggle to get the Kremlings in line so we can get a lot of speed rolling through all 3 of them. Jumping through these crawl spaces as well so we can skip the animation of, Giddy going into the crawling state. With some not frame perfect, but some precise inputs, you can just jump right through the crawl spaces. Holding Y when you're crouching in one of those is actually going to zip you to the other side as long as you're past halfway. This Nay is slightly in the lead, I believe. There's still about a 2-second delay between the 2 runners. Hopefully that'll get straightened up shortly. So these water levels are definitely one of the trickier ways to... what am I trying to say here? It's really easy to lose time in the water levels because the movement is so optimized that bonking on a corner will lose you a lot of time, and it can add up very quickly. It looks like we're synced now. Thanks, Speed Gaming. Appreciate that. May is still slightly in the lead. The trick to the fish, you can see them using the fish to lunge forward. It's actually not mashing that we'll be doing, but instead we'll be tapping certain times. Coming into 1-5. This is pretty much a script, an auto-scroller. We're just going to take the barrels up top. There's one tricky little extendo here that can absolutely ruin your run if you don't get it. And it looks like Nay got it. And it looks like Lumo got it. Can be a little scary too if you try to go a little too fast. You can jump on the guy at the bottom there a little too early. Miss that tree. That's it. You're going to have to play through the whole level or reset your run. We see both players in the naughty boss fight. Again, not a whole lot going on here. 344 for Nay, 348 for Lumo. We're coming into World 2, Winky's Walkway. This is definitely one of the more satisfying levels to pull off, especially because of that extendo right at the beginning. A lot of really neat, precise rolls. Unfortunately, we're not going to be grabbing the animal buddy, Winky the Frog. Nay making short work of the stage. About 4 seconds ahead. We get to Minecart Carnage. One of the things about this level is that, yeah, we're not taking the minecart. That takes way too long. So they're just hopping along. Finishing out the level. Coming into the first Kaizo level of the game. This is Bouncy Bonanza. This level is incredibly hard. Mainly for the reason that there's a lot of bees and there's a lot of tires. And tires have a lot of really odd physics to get used to when you're starting running the game. both of these players are seasoned runners, so don't anticipate we'll see a lot of problems. Nay skipping the B, no problem. Lumo skipping the B, no problem. And, hopefully we're not going to see too many hiccups, or any at all, between the two. But they're making it look easy, but I promise this is actually quite a hard level. Oh, there it is. Lumo taking a little bit of damage there. As your donkey finishing it out. And coming into Stop and Go station, we're just going to go back where we came from. Because there's a developer intended warp that's going to take you to the end. As long as your movement is entirely the same, you're always going to be able to roll through that last guy without taking damage. Now, Nay is rolling into Millstone Mayhem, which is the first instance of a super jump. Basically, we're going to do a very precise setup here, making sure that Donkey's going to take damage and fly upwards to the screen, which he did. He's going to bump off a guy, and then we're going to get Donkey back, take damage, which is going to store the super jump. And as long as you're holding B, you can get to that barrel, which is high above the clouds there. Nay trying to slap slide out of the level. Making sure we're really getting our entertainment value. Thank you, Nay. I appreciate it. As, we're coming into the second boss fight, which is one of the only other sources of RNG in the video game. This is Neki. It's random as to whether he's going to give you a high spawn or a low spawn. Oh, got a bit of a hiccup there on Nay's stream. 644 World 2 for Nay. 647 for Lumo. So the thing about races in this game is that there's not really a whole lot going on in the earlier stages aside from the odd super jump here and there, and then you know, pretty basic movement things. The races generally tend to be a little bit tight in the stages of the game. I think Lumo did that on purpose. He wanted to wait the cycle of bees. He felt a little off. I don't blame him. This Nay is rolling out of Treetop Town. There's actually, if you look at Lumo's screen, there's a barrel above the screen there, off screen. There's a tire. It's hard to get to because it's hard to see, but Nay now rolling into Forest Frenzy, setting up for the super jump, or the super jump roll, it looks like, which is the combination of a super jump, which I mentioned earlier, with a jump roll. And he gets it. My goodness. Nay says, I'll see you at the end of Frenzy. So what's happening on Nay's screen is a combination of super jump and a jump roll. A jump roll is basically when you press Y when you're landing on an enemy, I think. It's has to do basically with pressing Y and being on an enemy in the same frame. It is a frame perfect trick, so that's going to send you forward throughout the screen. And a super jump, which I explained earlier in Millstone Mayhem, which is going to send you flying upwards in the screen. So the combination of the two is just sends you with massive horizontal movement towards the end of the level. Lumo just got the super jump, so he's already a little bit behind Nay here. He's rolling in through Temple Tempest. A level known for its tricky movement and fast extendos. So if you blink, you're going to miss a lot of these levels. So Nay attempting the double extendo here. Baby's out, but that's okay. Lumo is now coming into Temple Tempest, nailing that second extendo. And Nay making short work of it as he's going to attempt the map warp glitch. Basically, if you have one Kong and you're over one of the corner sprites on the world map, you can press one of the face buttons, frame perfect input as usual, and it'll warp you to near the end of Orangutan Gang, which is the next level. But this is actually a lot faster. So this is what we do in the run. Alright, so they're about a map warp behind each other as Nay is coming into Clam City. Lumo is going back to do map warp. Yeah, on a very good run right now. Yeah, he's on a pretty good run. Wasn't paying attention, unfortunately. I think Lumo might have had first try map warp. Maybe the chat can correct me. So you'll see the runners in Clam City and most of the other water stages when they're the fish. They're going to be hugging the corners and making their lunges, because the corners being rounded are actually going to give your character a speed boost. Okay, making very short work. Coming into the B fight. So this B is also scripted. As long as your movement is the same the entire time, you'll know exactly where he's going to be, where you can damage him. Basically, when he's in this state, you're not going to want to touch him. He can't get damaged. You gotta wait until he's done flashing and he's back to... Sorry, when she's done flashing. Oh, Luma was first try, but he tasked, right? 11:23 World 3 for Nay. Very good time. Coming into World 4 now. This is where the game really starts to ramp up in difficulty. So a lot about what goes on in this world is revolving around ice physics. And while it is indeed faster to be rolling when you're on the ground, not necessarily on ice. You're not going to get any momentum. You're just going to have running speed the entire time. So you may as well jump when you're on the ice. Setting up that barrel boost there, so jump on the birds. About a half a stage apart between our runners here. A rolling through two birds. Oh no. Yeah, you roll through two birds. Taking the shortcut parallel at the bottom of the stage. Lumo attempting the barrel boost. Nails it. Maybe coming out of Snow Barrel into Slep Slide Ride. Lumo rolls through three birds, which is a lot faster. Billions of years faster. So if you blink in this level, you're going to miss it. But there's a little bit of off-screen stuff that we do here. Out of bounds to get to that barrel in the top left corner. Which you could get as Donkey, no problem. But this is much faster and much cooler. And this run is all about doing things that are fast and cool. It looks like Nay's having a hard time on those ropes, but that's because the red ropes actually are made of ice and they'll pull you down. As the blue ropes are also made of ice, but will pull you upwards. Lumo misses the barrel, unfortunately, so he just swaps the Donkey and jumps in there. As Nay comes into, what's the name of this level? Ice Age Alley. Or as we like to call it, Bird. Basically, we call it Bird because if this bird that Nay is riding, and Lumo will soon be riding, is instrumental to your success in this level. If you lose the bird, you're better off just sacrificing yourself and starting the level over again, because that's a lot of stuff that you just don't want to deal with. Ropes that take forever, and barrels you have to wait for the cycles and enemies and things. So making sure that you keep good control of your bird is instrumental to your success in this speed game. And it looks like Nate is attempting Bird Croc. He's going to try to bring Espresso the Ostrich into the water level, which is the next stage. Which is technically, theoretically faster than playing through the water level. Oh, did it work? I think it worked. Yeah, it worked. Alright, so this is Bird Croc. Can't believe they're making me commentate Bird Croc. So there's a lot of stuff going on right here. You're not meant to have the ostrich in this level, obviously. So you're just clipping through everything, because the game isn't sure what kind of hitbox an ostrich is supposed to have when it's in water. The runners should be very careful though, because it's very easy to soft lock in this when you're doing this trick. Because if the camera gets locked and you're out of bounds, and you don't know where you are, you're in a tough spot. There's not a whole lot you can do. Theoretically, doing the level this way is faster than just swimming. But there's also the variables of, you know, the problems that Lumo's having right now, where he can't quite, you know, clip where he needs to clip. Dave's already halfway. If there's time, I guess I could talk about what actually happened to set it up. I'm not sure I can explain it accurately. You should check out the wiki if you want to know exactly what's going on with these tricks. DKCspeedruns.com. Speedruns.com. If you're interested in learning about the speedrun or checking out the leaderboards, there's some optimal videos and tutorials, and yep, Lumophile is soft locked. Yep. I'm speechless. I am utterly speechless. I don't know what they expected. No one's forfeit the race yet, but it looks like they're both kind of screwed right now, because Nate, oh, he's getting his fish back. Okay, this is history, folks. I don't know what Lumo's gonna do, but Nate's gonna keep trying to get up there and finish off the level, I assume. Lumo's just resetting, yep. Probably smart. I don't know if he's going to forfeit or if he's just going to take the 17.5-minute reset and finish the game in 55 minutes. Crab Tut will save the run. He's starting over. My god, Lumo. So this is going to be really hard to commentate. Oh, Lumo's doing old summon. So what Lumo's doing right now is he's gonna wrong warp to World 4. Unfortunately, Nay dies, but it's okay. He can just respawn in the halfway barrel. All right. If all goes as planned, Lumo should end up in Torchlight Trouble. And he does. So this is Torchlight Trouble. This is the first, I guess the second Kaizo level in the game. Your actually swimming is not at all faster between the bird croc stuff and actual swimming. So theoretically, it's the bird croc stuff is faster if we can get it to be consistent. But yeah. So Lumophile is now attempting another super jump roll. He's going to take damage and do a perfect Y input, and he does, but he gets only one bad guy, so he's not going to get the full time save, but still good that he doesn't have to roll off all these tires and jump gaps. Nay finally finishes up Croctopus Chase, coming into Torchlight Trouble just as Lumo is exiting Rope Bridge Rumble. That's a very good point, actually. Lumo never finished Croctopus Chase, so technically he hasn't beaten all the stages. No, if he did the old summon warp, then Croctopus Chase would not be marked as done. But he has no way of going back unless he plays through the game. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to progress, but should be interesting. Nay is now attempting. Oh, I see what he's doing now. He's just going to go back to World 4 and beat Croctopus. All right, that's fair. Nay had some problems with the SJR, so he's just going to beat the level normally. Roll over all these tires. We're losing a little bit of focus here. Lumo is Donkey in this level, which is extra scary. Nate makes this level look very easy, but I promise you it's not easy at all. So this is the extremely naughty or very naughty boss fight. Essentially the same as the first beaver fight. The trick to optimizing it is to make sure that you hit him while he's at the peak of his jump at the beginning of his descension. Nay finishing up. World 4 coming into World 5. Really naughty, thank you. So World 5 is where a lot of new runners meet a lot of walls. Nay's coming into Oil Drum Alley, where he's going to attempt another super jump roll. He's had pretty good luck lately. Frenzy, anyway. Doing a lit setup. That's what I like to see. Standing in the fire. He doesn't get it. But we get to see the beautiful platforming that is Oil Drum Alley. Lumo is just finishing up. Slip Slide Ride. He's going to do Ice Age Alley, then finish Croctopus Chase, and then he's probably going to Funky's back to World 5. Nay saving 5 frames with that extendo. Rolling underneath the oil drums. The ending of this level is really tricky, so... no problem for Nay. Lumo's floating through the air. As Nay is doing a 10-second level. Another developer-intended warp. Which is good because this is a very long auto-scroller. Coming into Elevator Antics on Nay's stream right now. This is another level that's a lot like Bouncy Bonanza, in a sense that there's a lot of... oh, unfortunately, Lumo takes a death. He's doing Bird Croc again. I don't believe it. Alright, here we go. Nay is almost done with Elevator Antics. You see a lot of camera manipulation in this level too, where you're manipulating the camera so that the enemies spawn in a certain order so you can roll through them optimally and gain a lot of speed. Go for optimal elevators, which is going to be skipping a cycle right here. Rolling through Kaiselbird, finishing the level. Technically, yes, you can finish the level, but it's very tricky. As Nay is coming into the final water level, this is Poison Pond. This level walls a lot of players because it's very difficult, and usually the strat, if you lose your fish, is to chase the fish. But there are some narrow passageways here where if the fish just gets away from you, it's going to despawn, and that's not good. Yeah, see, this is where the problems lie, because if you clip in the wrong way to the walls, then you're just going to clip all the way and keep falling infinitely, and that's it. Nay's just, you know, going for a stroll in the pond. These levels are mapped out very well, in the sense where as long as you just follow the direct path, then you'll be okay. Lumo lost his ostrich. And he does the strat, he gives up on it, which is fair. But Nay is now rolling through the air in minecart madness. A little too early on the jump rolls there, but that's okay. So this rolling in the air glitch, which you set up by running into the minecart and taking damage, this donkey, saves roughly 4 seconds over just taking the minecarts, and then if you were to land a jump roll on one of those birds, it's about another 3 to 4 seconds that he can save, so making an auto-scroller save time is always good. While you're in this state, actually, there's a few things that can stop you, one of them being bees, and the other one being a platform. If you see a platform and you're in that rolling in the air state, you're not going to have a good time, because the game thinks then that you're on the ground and that you should not be rolling. Or flying, I guess. So Lumo's now coming into Oil Drum Alley, coming into World 5. Setting up for the super jump roll. I hope he gets it. He doesn't, unfortunately. Just as Nay is finishing up Minecart Madness, coming into Blackout Basements. Or as we like to call it, Bob. So Bob is scripted in... the lights are going to turn on and off in increments. And as long as your movement is the same throughout the level, then you're not going to have any problems. That missing those rolls there, unfortunately, might have set Nay's cycles off a little bit. But I have faith that he can persevere. And we're taking damage on the fire, unfortunately. You don't want to touch that stuff. Doing the end of ODA as Donkey is very stressful. And Lumo's just going to take it safe, and I don't blame him. And he did it. Good job, Lumo. Nay coming into the probably the easiest boss. This is Boss Dum-Drum. He's just going to slam his butt in the ground, increasing 1 time per round, and shooting enemies at you. Each increasing in difficulty. The last 2 cycles of enemies he throws at you, it's optimal to kill as Donkey because it's just faster. It takes usually 2 jumps from Diddy or none on the clumps. So faster to just be Donkey and swap. This Lumo is now in Elevator Antics. Oh, took damage from the bird, unfortunately. Just as Nay was finishing up. And we're coming into Frame World, and Lumo is not having a good time in World 5 right now, unfortunately. So this is one of the longest auto-scrollers in the game. This is Tanked Up Trouble, or as we like to call it, Tut. There's 2 instances of a jump roll, hopefully, that the runners can hit. We have a jump roll that you can do off a Kremling, which we call Krem Tut. And there's one that you can do off a bird shortly after that we call Bird Tut. Krem Tut saves 50 plus seconds, I think it's 52. And Bird Tut, which is the backup to Krem Tut, saves just a little bit less, I think 45 to 40. So here's Nay attempting Krem Tut. Fortunately, didn't get it. Rolled a little too early, but Bird Tut's right here, so here we go. A little too early. See if he can grab the consolation jump roll. Oh, he's not going for it. Oh, there it is. Alright, so he gets the consolation jump roll. That's what a jump roll looks like. Where you're just in a spinning animation. And just flying, listing lazily in the air. It's pretty nice. It's comfy. Lumo now in Poison Pond. It's it'll take a monumental collapse for Nay to lose this, I think. Talking the Perils Infinite of Perils Infinites. Unfortunately loses his fish there. Lucky it came back to. Usually after it's off screen for that long, it'll just despawn, but unfortunately doesn't quite land the triple mincer clips. But he does clip through one mincer, which is nice. Nay is finishing up the level. Coming into Manic Mincers, which is, I believe, the last time we'll see an animal buddy, Rambi. So Rambi is very clunky and hard to control, as you can plainly see. We're not gonna keep him throughout the entire level. Actually, we're going to sacrifice him over a pit and give him the Yoshi treatment. Lumophile rolling through the air. Here's the sacrifice, so you can make it across that pit. Back boosting off the Crusher. Rolling through some rats. And coming out of Manic Mincers, coming into Misty Mines, which is usually the last super jump roll we see in the run. He's just going to super jump over it. Oh, he's doing the actual new tech called the Super Free Roll, or the SFR. Basically, this is so ridiculous. So there's a lot going on right now that I'm not entirely qualified to explain, but essentially it's the combination of a super jump and storing that super jump and rolling through enemies. So you're kind of creating like a fake super jump roll, still getting the speed of rolling through the enemies, but the levitation of a super jump. So good job, Nay, being able to show that off. That was awesome. Coming into Loopy Lights now is Lumo is making his way through Blackout Basement. Nay is on a pretty good run. If that stuff didn't happen in Croctopus Chase, this would be a very, very good run. For context, I think Nay lost about 3 minutes doing that Croctopus Chase stuff. As Lumo's coming into Boss Dum Drum, and Nay is making his way through Loopy Lights. That's it for Nay. Coming into the final level in the game, Platform Perils, and the last jump roll. This level is infamous for having a lot of deaths for runners. It's very stressful because it's a lot of tight platforming and quick rolls. Dodging bees and birds. More birds, more bees. So he's attempting the jump roll. Unfortunately, it was a little too early. So we're going to have to see some really hot platforming from Nay, who's world-renowned at this level, by the way. Double extendo. The Mad Lad. Lumo coming into Tanked Up Trouble. He's very consistent, actually, with Krem Tut, so let's see what happens here. Getting the frame itself is not the hard part. The hard part is wiggling around the bees afterwards, because when you're in that jump roll state, the only thing that can really hurt you are bees. So here's Lumo setting up Krem Tut. No, he's not going for it. I'm very surprised he's not going for it. He's going to set up Bird Tut instead. That was an interesting setup. Oh yeah, he does it that way. Rolled a little too early. As Nay is in the penultimate boss fight in the game. Looks like we're going to see a, 37-ish coming out of Nay. For all the stuff that happened, losing roughly 3 minutes in Croc, this would be about a 34, a high 34 if Croc didn't happen. Lumo's making his way through the auto-scroller as Nay is fighting King K. Rool. So King K. Rool is a glorified cutscene, pretty much. He's going to throw his crown at you. You got to jump on his head while his crown is not on his head. And he's going to run across the boat a few times, and he's going to jump on the other side and throw some stuff at you. You got to dodge that and jump on his head again when he's throwing the crown. It's really quite tedious and menial. But it's really easy to fall asleep too. So if you're not paying attention, definitely choke it away. Nay, being a seasoned veteran of the game, I don't think he's going to choke anything away. Lumo coming out of tanked up trouble into Manic Pincers. Now, a reminder, folks, this is a best of 3. So we're in for at least one more race after this. If Nay wins this race, he only needs to win one more to secure himself a date with another racer. Whereas if Lumo loses these next 2 races, he's done in tournament. So Nay coming up onto the fake credits right now. Just a few more jumps on K. Rool's head, and that should be it. One is Lumo exiting Manic Mincers into Misty Mine. We'll probably see the another instance of a super free roll because it is literally that, super free. And Nay finishes up with 37.19. On SRL it was a 37.20, but I'm going to say it was a 37.19. So nice run to Nay. Now +1. Oh, did I hit the wrong button? No, I didn't hit the wrong button. Oh, yeah, I did. My bad. Let's just fix that right there. He's not the winner. He just won 1. Okay. Sorry, I'm new to this thing. Anyway. So we're coming into Lumos now, in the middle.
Hello.
Hello, Nay. GG on the 37.
Thanks, man.
We calculated you lost about 3 minutes, and
Yeah.
so it would have been a really nice...
close to a 34-13.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Lumo unfortunately misses the super jump roll and loopy lights. Just to confirm, Nay, you're aware it's a best of 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the message from the bot. They were like, "Come join." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I clicked the wrong button. I accidentally.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's my first day. Well, while I have you here, I guess, why don't you, I know that you two are in a voice call in cahoots here, so why don't you take us through your thought process and what happened in Birdcroc? Maybe you can give a bit of a better explanation than I did. I was a little taken aback by it.
Like about what Birdcroc is?
Well, yeah, like if you can, maybe a quick little TLDR, I guess.
Yeah, so Birdcroc is currently the faster strat for TAS. Currently, there's no RTA viable route to do it optimally yet, but we'll work on it. Yeah, we just thought, why not, you know?
I'd like to point out that Lumo just got Perils. A good run to get Perils in.
Yeah, very good.
Well, that'll probably get him finished with, what, a 42, 43, maybe?
Yeah, right there. By the way, Lumo is an absolute trooper.
He
for
really is.
finishing this run. This is a valid run according to DGen rules, by the way, because he has finished every stage.
Yep, we did discuss that. We had the quick. Oh my God, he's banned. No, wait, he's doing old summon. He's fine. Freak out for a minute, but
Bit of controversy in the chat.
oh yeah, it was great. You missed it. Lumo just finishing up with the bird boss here. Looks like we'll see a high 42 from Lumo.
Yeah.
It was like a 40 43x 43 30 40 33 maybe. It's what, 224? Yeah, no thank you.
Could be a very low 43, I think.
You think so? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do math, so I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. Well, good luck on your next race.
Thank you.
Tell Lumo I love him.
Alright.
Alright. We're back, folks. For those who don't know, RTA viable means an RTA viable strat is basically something that is viable to do in your speedrun. You know, while you're doing your speedrun, not necessarily grinding out ILs. You know, just like you wouldn't attempt bird croc if you're doing runs. These guys were just joking around, just trying to show it off because it's really neat. So you wouldn't see many players go for that kind of strat when they're, you know, grinding runs. Oh, coming up to the fake credits now. Well, if this race was indicative of what's going to happen later tonight, I think we're in for a real treat, folks. These two are very evenly matched, I think. So we could be in for a really, really good race later. As Lumo finishes up with an SRL time of 43:03. Nice run to Lumo. If you're just joining us, I got interrupted last time, so I didn't get to finish what I was saying, but you're watching the Donkey Kong Country All Stages Tournament 2018. Losers round 3, I think. Between Lumophile and Nay. Nay is currently in the lead, 1-0. It is a best of 3, so Nay only needs to win one more to secure himself a match in the 4th round of the losers bracket, where Lumo needs to win 2 in a row. Once Nay is done giving everybody a seizure, yeah, I don't know if I clicked the button correctly. Pretty sure I did. Well, they're already underway, no? What's Nay doing? It's had a huge lag spike there. I'm just gonna refresh the stream here. Looks like Nay's doing some more, out of bounds stuff. I'm not sure. We're just letting the credits play through. Maybe Nate's just going to be showing off some cool no major skip stuff. Oh, he's showing a super jump. Oh yeah, we're out of bounds. Good job. You scratch your head. Feel shame. There goes Winky. That's the frog that we never get to see, unfortunately. So there was a lot going on in that first race. I feel like I wasn't really able to accurately describe what was going on in real time, but hopefully this one will be a little more tame. I'll be able to keep up with what's going on. But I can give like a short little TLDR here. The meat in this game of movement is through rolling. The wiki says if time spent not rolling is time better spent rolling, or something like that. And any time spent not rolling is time better spent rolling. As you roll through enemies, you're going to be gaining a lot of speed, capped out through 4 enemies. So you're always going to want to make sure that you're rolling through as many enemies as you can, and jumping on your rolls so that you're not going to get that animation of being stuck into it. And they just showing off here, entertaining the fans. That's what I like to see. Yeah, we do have one more match on the docket once these two start. That looks like the channel is open, so join that one. This one. All right. Yes, sorry, Pablo. Yes, there's going to be one more match. This is a best of 3. Nay is currently in the lead, 1-0. And the losers, round 3, I believe, of the All Stages tournament. Looks like both players are ready to go. It could be 2 more. We're seeing at least 1 more. Looks like both players are readying up in the race channel. Trying to get the attention of one of the admins here. I'm not sure if we need adult supervision for this. So interesting fact, actually, when you're on the title screen, and it just happens in A, or not the title screen, but the player select screen, we need an adult. If when you're on the player select screen, you need to keep changing your choices like that, or else you're gonna get kicked out back to the title screen. So it's one of the common mistakes that both players, or that some players do. They'll just forget that. Oh, I should remind them. Alright, and we are off. Game number 2. Let's go. I'm way out of sync here. And they are off. So as I said earlier, we're just gonna be rolling through some guys, doing some extendos. Where I said you're gonna be storing rolls, and then using those rolls later, like that. Rolling through enemies, yeah. Both Nate and Lumo getting it again. So that little corner in between 1-1 and 1-2 is also a map warp corner. Send you to another level in the game. A taking the bonus warp, which saves a surprisingly short amount of time. I think it's something like 2 seconds. It looks like they're ever so slightly out of sync. Timers anyway. Maybe we can get an adult to help us out here. Nay coming into Reptile Rumble again. As is Lumo. So as I said, we're going to be wiggling very quickly to try to manipulate it so that the Kremlings are in a specific way so we can roll through them much quicker. And Nay finishing up the level. Blacking out at about a 48. Lumo blacking out at about a 55. 54-ish. So about 6 seconds separates our runners, it looks like. Coming into Coral Capers, first water level in the game. Home to, in my opinion, the best soundtrack, or the best song in the entire trilogy, and Aquatic Ambience. Actually, that's a good question. Chat, why don't you go ahead and post your favorite song from the trilogy? Any of the Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo games. Mine is definitely Aquatic Ambience. So many good ones though. Fear Factory, this one, that one in DKC 3, that's good. So go ahead. Sticker Brush, good. Forced Interlude, underrated. Very underrated Forced Interlude. Snae's coming into Barrel Cannon Canyon. Lost Levels, Overworld. Yeah, same thing, you're not wrong. There's Nay rolling through a couple Kremlings and extending through them. Mining Melancholy featuring Phil Collins. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love that remix. Whatever the castle one is called in DKC 2, that's called Crook's March. There's an A fighting the beaver again. Same with the other beaver, you want to hit him while he's at the peak of his jump. That was a really good World 1 from Nay, 343. Could have very easily been a 342. Coming into Winky's Walkway. That extendo is pretty tight. Lumo having a good time in Winky's walkway. Again, we're just going to be skipping the minecart in this level anyway. There's an A in Bouncy Bonanza again. Nay, skipping the bees. Lumo setting up to skip the bees very soon. Clean bee skip, where you skip the bees, very good. Pretty clean start from both of our runners, for the most part. It's not really, it all amounts to not a whole lot until we get to World, 4 or 5, when the super jump rolls really start coming in and the jump rolls. So again, stop and go station, we're going to ignore the entire level and just go back to where we came from. It's going to warp us right towards the end. Here we have a super jump. There goes Donkey flying off screen. Nay's going to get him back and take damage. And that's going to send Donkey flying upwards. Good job, Nay. Here goes Lumo attempting it. Good job, Lumo, also getting it. There is another way to get to that barrel over there, but it involves bringing a tire over and pushing it over a gap, which is very precise and a lot more difficult than it seems. Again, this bird boss is one of the only instances of RNG in this game. Couple seconds of variance here. Oh, Lumo taking damage, which is unfortunate because in 3-1 there's actually a barrel that's exclusive to only Donkey Kong. So he's going to have to take some time to swap, get his gorilla buddy back. That barrel that Nay just went into actually doesn't show up if you're Diddy, and it's on a timer. So you'll see very soon that he's going to swap to Donkey, and oh my god, where did that barrel come from? Black magic. Burn this game, please. So Nay is now coming into Treetop Town, bouncing off that bird over there onto that tire into the barrel that is off screen, warping him to the end. Good IL, everyone. So Nay hit Force Frenzy last time. Let's see if he can do it again. There are two options that the runners can go for in here, a super jump or a super jump roll. Nay looks like he's setting up for the super jump roll by leaving all those two Kremlings alive. And looks like he's just going for this. Oh no! He didn't touch the ground. That's going to give Lumo a little bit of a lead here. Looks like the audio has already been switched. Ninjas. So Lumo is very slightly ahead right now. Only because of a failed super jump. Man, unfortunate. Nay, try again for a third time. Third time's a charm. Come on, Nay. There's Lumo exiting the stage. Looks like he was going for the super jump roll again. As Lumo now in the lead firmly. Skipping ropes in Temple Tempest. Wonder if we're going to see the Super FR Yeah, we are. Oh no, we're not, because Diddy didn't do the thing. Diddy didn't jump in the air. Okay, so we noticed. Good. I'm glad Lumo noticed. So one of the reasons, or the reason that Lumo opted out of doing the super free roll was because he didn't get the super jump. In order to get a super jump, you need your partner monkey to be flying in the air when he hits a wall. And that didn't happen, unfortunately. Nay taking the death in Temple Tempest. Trying again. This level is notorious for killing people. A lot of really tight extendos and rope skips. Lumo is now attempting map warp. First try from Lumo, good job. So if you're just tuning in and you're wondering what the heck just happened on Lumo's screen, he did the map warp glitch, which in the corners in World 1, if you're a single Kong and you're over them, you can press one of the face buttons and it'll warp you to a certain spot in a certain level. Usually it's Orangutan Gang, but one of them will put you into Bouncy. Lumo's now Clam City. A is about to attempt map warp. Second try for Lumo, or Nay rather. Lumo is making his way out of the level. Coming into the B fight. This fight is relatively scripted. As long as you follow the same movement, the B is always going to be in the same spot where you need to hit him and when he's vulnerable, so you can hit him fairly quickly. A taking those corner boosts. .12-minute World 3 exit for Lumo. Good job. Nay, unfortunately, not clipping through the clam. So the great thing about the Swordfish in this game is that he can straight up clip through enemies if you're... because he's invincible during his lunging animation. Nay, his donkey fighting the bee. We have a saying in the community, if you're donkey, you're dead. Both monkeys do share different characteristics, or have different characteristics. Donkey is the prototypical big, slow, strong monkey, whereas Diddy is the small, fast, nimble, good monkey. Lumo's finishing up with 4-1. Delightful water. So here we go again. Lumo gets it this time, clipping out of bounds. Reminder to stay hydrated. Lumo just finishing up. Entering, oh no, I thought he was entering Croctopus, never mind. He's entering Bird instead, or Sage Alley. Again, this level, it's very instrumental that you keep your bird, or very important, I should say, that you keep your bird, because it's safer in this level to avoid grabbing midway, because that way if you die, you're back at the beginning, where you can try again with the bird. Whereas if you grab midway, you're already halfway, so you have to go through all the stuff that you see on the screen. Nay is having no problems here with Slip Slide Ride. Lumo is finishing up. Might be a little bit behind here. Lumo's doing bird croc again, I guess. Oh, he didn't get it. I missed why he didn't get it, but looks like we're not going to see a bird croc. That allowed Nay to catch up a little bit, so we get to actually see a race here, folks. So one of the real hard things about the water levels here is how easy it is to lose time. And losing time in these levels is a lot easier than it looks, because every time that you bump up against a corner or hit a ledge or hit your head on something, you know, you lose all your momentum. So you really want to be able to cut those corners as efficiently and close as possible. As you can see on Lumo's screen here. Other than that quick little speed tech, there's not really a whole lot else going on here, so I guess I'll just shut up and let you guys enjoy aquatic ambience. Sorry, damn, I was asleep. So, welcome back, folks. This is Torchlight Trouble. This is where the game really ramps up. We're going to see a lot of really tight platforming from here on out. Quick little back boosts, as you can see on Nay and Lumo's screen here. My favorite Donkey Kong game? Probably DKC 2, to be honest. I definitely spent the most time on it. Lumo is now setting up the super jump roll. Rope Bridge Rumble. It's an odd setup I don't think I've seen before. But it's unfortunate. So Nay could squeeze out a lead here if he manages to hit the frame. So Lumo is just going to roll over some tires. And Nay just gets the super jump, so we get to see some vanilla levels here today, folks. So these tire rolls are actually a lot harder than they look, in my opinion anyway. I was never able to get the tech down, but there's a certain frame window after you land on a tire where you can roll off of it. Keep your momentum. Otherwise, if you're too early, it's just going to eat your input. If you're too late, you're just going to bounce off the tires and a little hop and you're going to die. Lumo finishing up into the second beaver fight. Messes up that visual cue. Nay is creeping back into the mix here after having those issues in Forest Frenzy. Lumo finishing up the second beaver fight in 1947, not too bad. 1953, so he caught up quite a lot there. Coming into World 5 and 6, where the frames exist, is, puts Lumo on the hot seat here. Pun intended, Oil Drum Alley here. Both are setting up for the super jump rolls. No, it looks like Nay is just going to go for it regularly, and Lumo nails the super jump roll, rolls through 3 idiots. Good for him. So that's going to solidify his lead. Furthermore, here henceforth, it's 5 free frames for Nay. Lumo's finishing up. Coming into a 10-second IL. Thank God for that. Nay making the end of it look really easy. We're getting a nice little extendo there. Not a lot of people go for that. So much like in Reptile Rumble, in Elevator Antics, we're going to see a lot of camera manipulation, and we're going to see the other instance of a bonus warp right here, where he's going to enter and exit a bonus, which is going to put him further into the level. Saves a few seconds. So here he's going to be manipulating the way that the elevators and the enemies spawn. Oh no, he clipped through an elevator. Did he grab halfway? I'm not sure he grabbed halfway. He did grab halfway. Alright, these guys are really close again. It's, as you can see, like, there's... This game is very exciting to watch as a race. Oh, really taking it close there with that elevator. Skipping his elevator and rolling through Kaizo Bird. May doing the same thing, skipping his elevator, rolling through Kaizo Bird. They're both entering Poison Pond right now. Fairly close, just a few seconds separating our runners here. It could be evened up after this level. SMB2 Bird, yep. And there's the equalizer. Lumo losing his fish, and now we are pretty much neck and neck, folks. Nay is ahead by just a little bit. Nay is ahead probably by about a donkey unit, 0.3 seconds. And that little bonk also equal... My god. I think Nay got triple mincer. I think they both got triple mincer. I wasn't quite paying attention. I was reading chat. Oh, Nay loses his fish. That gives Lumo the advantage. Finishing the level about a second and a half faster. If you can see on both their screens, what they do is they swap to donkey and they make sure that they run into the minecart, not jump into them. So while you're in this state, the game seems to think that you're on the ground, which is why you're able to roll through the air so much. And now we get to see how much of a time save there's going to be between rolling in the air and a jump roll, which is really good because I've always wanted to see this. Lumo was ahead by about a second, so we'll see if they're going to be neck and neck near the end here. Yeah, it looks like Nay's ahead just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe 2 seconds. And then the glitch gets canceled out once the game detects that there is ground. And then it kind of makes you go, hey, wait a minute. You shouldn't be rolling there. Get back to your falling animation. And, yeah. So Nay finishes up. Lumo finishes up. They're about a second apart here, folks. This is some exciting stuff. Both of them rolling into Blackout Basement. Again, the lights are going to turn on and off in increments. As long as your movement is exactly the same throughout the entire level, then unfortunate for Lumo. Taking damage. Not taking damage, but jumping in pit. His cycles must have been off. See, this level is oh, we're too quiet here? Alright, hang on. What's going on here? Volume. Up. Sorry, I'm not watching here. I'm trying to adjust the audio. Is that better for you folks? Lumo finally finished with Blackout Basement here, going into Boss Drum as Nay is just finishing up on the last cycle. Second to last cycle, I should say. To give a quick little shout out to Speed Gaming here for making such a really easy to use interface for our commentators to adjust the on-the-fly broadcasting stuff here. Good job, guys. Thank you very much. This Nay's finished with World 5, coming into World 6. This is where things start to matter, folks. If Nay is going to secure his lead, then he needs to start hitting some frames. And this is a good level to start. I explained earlier, this is... there are 2 jump rolls that you can hit here, but you can only ever hit one of them. You can hit Creme Tut, or you can hit Bird Tut. Creme Tut saves more than Bird Tut. Bird Tut's more thought of as a backup if you're one of the optimal runners. And Nay taking very special care to not kill any enemies, as killing enemies lags the game for a little bit. Here's Nay setting up, hopefully. Yep. No, same thing as last time. Do Bird Tut. Oh, too early again. Unfortunate. Here's Lumo getting ready for Creme Tut. Lumo wants to pull ahead. This is a really good place to do it. But it looks like he's just going to go for Bird Tut. I don't blame him. You could die very easily doing Creme Tut. I didn't like that setup. Looked like he was a little too hasty there. Oh, that was spooky. Well, at least it gets to stay a close race here, so at least there's that. And Nay still in the lead by just a little bit, a few seconds, maybe 5 or so, maybe 6. And there's Nay finishing up. 44. Well, maybe he's further ahead than I thought. Okay, coming into Manic Mincers. About 22 seconds separate, so... You know, 1 frame. And this changes. A rolling through with the Rhino. The damage boost. Clearing that pit. Good job. Cute little back boost there. Exiting the level. Lumo also rolling through Manic Mincers as Nay comes into Misty Mine. Setting up for the super jump roll, or the super free roll, I should say. Nobody does the super jump roll in Misty anymore. This is a good time to be alive. He only hits 3 idiots, though, which is too bad. Usually you want to hit 4. But if Lumo goes for the super jump roll and gets it, he might be able to pull ahead. Actually, that's a lie. Oh, but he messes it up, unfortunately. Oh, no, he could have still gotten it, but oh well. Looks like we're gonna get to see some rolling and jumping. This level is very unintuitive when it comes to movement because usually the rule of thumb in Donkey Kong Country speedrunning is you want to milk your rolls for as long as you can. Nay's staying in the air a little bit longer than he wants to, just letting Lumo catch up. I wouldn't call it GG just yet. So Lumo did catch up a little bit there from Nay staying in the air for too long. This, as I was saying, Misty Mine is very unintuitive when it comes to movement because you need to cut your rolls short in places where you wouldn't think to. It's not quite over yet. There's still 1 or 2 more frames that can bring this back for Lumo. Nay could still take a death. This is a much closer race than the last one. Nay is on the cusp of securing his ticket to the 4th round in the loser's bracket. Jumping through some bees. Lumo going for the super jump roll here, which is what I was talking about. No, that was a bad setup, unfortunately. Well, it's up to Nay now. Nay has to die a few times. Misses the jump roll. Grabbing halfway. Nay, who wrote the book on the second half of Platform Perils, doesn't usually fail that a whole lot. Here comes Lumo attempting it, and he gets it. So there's a few seconds that he's going to gain off of Nay, but unfortunately, it's looking like it might not be enough. We don't know that just yet, but this definitely helps close the gap a lot. But with both of them in K. Rool at the same time, if Nay were to take a death, which is very unlikely, I know, then the Lumo could take a lead, and he'll probably win the race. Nay finishing up the bird boss. Quite a few high spawns there. 3341, so we're looking at a low 36. So it may not look like it, but Nay is still in a position. Oh, Lumo drops a cycle, unfortunately. Nay is in still a very precarious position where if he fools around a little too much and loses both his monkeys while they're both in K. Rool, there's no continuation here. So, you know, Lumo's fighting for his life here, his tournament life. Nay's just slap sliding all over the place. Anything can happen. I've seen some things like that happen before. Seen some upsets. It's not entirely out of the realm of discussion. There's one hit. I'm going to feel really bad if it happens, I'm telling you. But this will give Lumophile the win if he can... Well, not right now, but it could. Never know. And Lumo loses a Kong. Nailbiter, folks. He's coming on to fake credits now. Lumo's donkey getting a little bit impatient there. And there's Lumo coming on to fake credits. Fake credits ends, fake credits begins. Two more hits for Nay, and he's going to secure himself a ticket to the next round. One more. Doing the mirrored jumps for the fans. We appreciate it. And there you have it. With an SRL time of 36:06, Nay has defeated Lumophile. Secured himself a place in the next round in the Donkey Kong Country All Stages tournament. Lumophile finishes up with a 36:30 on SRL. Nice runs to both of them. We'll wait to get them in here for an interview, hopefully. I definitely would like to know what was going through their heads in that bird croc fiasco. Let's see if we can get them in here. And there you have it. Looks like Lumo's trying Bird Croc again. He's tenacious, I'll give him that. Alright, Nay seems to want to do an interview. Seems like Lumo has a vendetta against Bird Croc. I feel responsible for this partially because when he was streaming earlier today, he was warming up for this race specifically, and I said, hey, how about giving a Bird Croc for the fans? And I wasn't expecting them to do it in the race. I feel like I put it in their head, his head anyway. And I'm showing off. Alright, I just DM'd Lumo an invite to this Discord here. Hopefully he'll roll in soon. There he is.
Hi.
Lumo.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Unfinished. Nay. Hi.
Hi.
congrats on first.
Thank you, thank you.
Thoughts on moving on to the next round of the losers bracket in the Donkey Kong Country 2018 All Stages tournament?
So yeah, I'm up against DNA next, I believe, and then winner of that versus Canis. Should
Yeah,
be
we're
good.
getting into some pretty exciting matches now these days,
Yeah.
and losers
So-
and winners. It feels like anybody who's left could probably has a pretty decent shot at it.
Yeah.
That's not to discount you, of course, Lumo. Just because you got eliminated, I don't want you to take it that way.
No, you should discount me.
Oh, okay. Well, I apologize for not discounting you then.
Yeah, all right.
What?
So fellas, questions. Yeah, bird croc, right?
Yeah, right.
That's a trick. Why don't you take us through your thought process as to what made you want to go for it in such a prestigious event like this?
We talked about it and we decided it was a good idea. We agreed on it.
Yeah, I agree. It was a very good idea. It's cool to show off all this
Yeah.
this neat stuff that you don't expect in a game. Like who knew birds could hold their breath for this long?
Who knew birds could go into water?
Yeah,
You knew monkeys could even do it. I mean, come on.
yeah. I didn't know monkeys could hold their breath for 2.5 minutes.
If you're good, it's not that long.
Basically,
That's
Lumo was like, bird croc? And I was like, yeah, right.
I think the last time that happened was during the last tournament. You and Canis, I commentated that match too.
Oh, yeah, that was a good match. I
That was
PB'd.
when, yeah, you both PB'd. You both got 33s.
Yeah.
That was hype. That was really cool. So Lumo, your looks like your tournament days are over.
Yes.
You want to reflect on your time on tournament? I'm sure you have a lot to say.
My only regret is no, I don't really have any.
That's good. That's a good mindset. It's a good mindset.
Actually, you know what? My only regret is not actually finishing bird croc in one of the races.
That's okay.
Me too.
That's a regret.
Well, I must say, someone who picked up the game relatively recently, you've really stepped up a lot, and you know, you put the time in, and it shows by your how much you've learned about the game and the time that you've gotten out of it.
Thanks,
So,
man.
I think everybody should give extra special shout outs to that. You know, it's really great. You know, good job, good showing, man. Really good showing.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
And we'll see you in the Donkey Kong Country 3 tournament for sure. Right?
Yeah, I don't know that I'll do
Yeah, all right,
so
cool.
well there.
I'll see you in the tournament then. Sounds good. All right. Nay, any closing thoughts there while you're running out of time with Winky?
Shoutouts to Lumo. Real trooper finishing that first match. That was good stuff.
I had
Yeah,
a good backup.
That was really painful. I gotta say, the having to get soft locked or the soft lock, and then being in that situation where you had to go. Well, what do I do? Do I forfeit? Do I try to just reset and start from 1-1? Well, that's the beauty about this game, is that you can just warp over the levels that are stupid, right?
That's
And
it.
it just happened to put me in almost exactly the right place.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of a hot debate going on in chat as to whether your run would be valid afterwards, but
According to official DGen rules, you can do that as long as you
Oh, yeah.
finish every stage.
absolutely. And you did go back and finish every single stage, so
Some of them multiple times.
yeah.
Exactly.
What are you doing right now? You going back to 1-1 or something? Want to work hard?
Kind of. Yeah, there's just more dumb manipulation of objects in this game.
So Lumo also runs or used to run RBO, which is reverse boss order in Donkey Kong Country, which is not something you usually see in such a linear game. Also put in a lot of time into learning the manipulations and the warps and IDs and exit values and things. So it's just a testament to show how much he actually stepped up this year.
Very impressive stuff. Like, all this goes over my head.
And you ran it in a marathon as well. I was there. I sat beside you.
It's true. You commentated it. You held my pen.
I did. Pretty much held the task there. Oh, yeah. Spinning mincer.
Mm-hmm.
That's always great. Kaizo mincer.
You spin me right round.
Right round, baby. Right round. Like a record, baby. Right round. Round, round. Clayton was there, too. It's true.
More facts. As was Lol, Paco, and Snesh, Chalmers, and Pidge. Pidge!
But all right, well, I think that about wraps it up for us here on Speed Gaming 3. I think we've done enough damage for one day. Thank you, everybody for watching. If you're just tuning in, I'm sorry you missed the race, but May beat Lumophile 2-0 in the best of 3 to move on to the next round against DNA. And Lumophile is going to go home and walk his dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with that, we're going to sign off here. So thank you, everybody, for watching. GG Nay, GG Lumo. Great race. Thank you for showing off. It was really, really entertaining. And I'm glad I was able to commentate it.
I'm glad you were able to commentate as well.
Heck yeah. And a little side
Can't wait
note
to
is...
watch it back.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually going to be a little bit embarrassed now that I know you're going to be watching it. I thought you were listening.
Oh, no. Oh, damn it.
A little tidbit of information, actually. There's it's the anniversary of Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo games this week, and keep your eyes glued to the to Twitter and Discord. We have some races going on and celebrations, so definitely going to see some more of this, hopefully. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and we're going to pass it on to wherever Speed Gaming wants to bring you.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye!
Good job, everyone.